So a few weeks ago, you actually wrote what I think might be the final chapter on the subprime market, and I wondered if you could share some. And I wondered if you could just share some of your thoughts from that commentary.
This was a piece of satire. I wrote 2 columns. I run a column occasionally for Bloomberg News, and I just got irritated by this. I got irritated by the absence of a voice I knew was there that I wanted to hear from, and it was the voice of the Wall Street trader himself who had lost a bunch of money from the subprime portfolio. His subprime portfolio collapsed, and so I pretended to be a Wall Street hedge fund manager, and who had lost all this money, who was now going to deduce the lessons he'd learned from this business collapse, and I wrote it in the voice of this character and tried to imagine what his outrageous views might be. And I started by saying that obviously the problem here is you don't lend money to poor people. And then I said that now I've had this exposure to poor people, I've learned all these things about poor people. And I explained all the things I learned about poor people, and none of them were very flattering. And then I said that, there's got to be, how come these people aren't working harder to pay me back, kind of thing. And I said, and that, I think that probably debtor's prison is a little retro and we shouldn't have that, but maybe all these people could be gathered up and shipped to Greenwich, Connecticut to work on the sports cars and the front lawns and of the hedge fund managers who lost all this money. And at this point, as a satirical piece works, satire only works if you're not sure it's satire. If it's kind of sitting on that knife edge. But at some point, you clue in the reader at the end that actually, the author may not completely believe everything he's writing. And I thought I'd done it because when it got about 2/3 in the piece, I said, actually, a lot of these poor people probably don't have skills. So the ones who don't have skills, we could dress them up as clowns and have them work at rich kids' birthday parties. And they could have this act where they could see how many clowns could fit into my Lamborghini kind of thing. And it'd be like the circus, only better. And I just thought, well, at this point, everybody's going, oh, he's just making fun of Wall Street people. He's not, And no. That's not what happened. One of the things writers learn is that the piece that you spent 45 minutes writing ends up being the piece that defines you for the rest of your life. You work for years on a book and nobody pays attention, and you dash this thing off, you think it's kind of funny, and something happens. And in this, what happened was an awful lot of people took this thing seriously, and most disturbingly, many of the people who took it seriously approved of it, and thought. And so I had there was this wave of email come into me, and half of it says, "You scum, you Wall Street pond scum. You're the reason that everything's wrong. Everything is wrong with America. You should be lynched from the highest lamppost." Wait, they believed I was a hedge fund trader, and they hated me for it. The other half said, "You got to run for president, dude." Nobody's saying this stuff out here now. Someone, dress them up as clowns, and so I thought, oh my God, that actually I wasn't quite sure who I was making fun of in the first one. I thought I was kind of making fun of the hedge fund trader who's sort of, suffering in his miasma of bad bonds, but. I thought, no, I'm gonna write a second one, and it's making fun of the people who don't get that the first one is a joke. I'm gonna blow it up. It's gonna be even more preposterous. So I wrote a second one, and the second one was this hedge fund manager comes back. He says how happy he is by the response to this first piece he's written. So he's gonna take some time away from his busy life to write yet another piece of journalism, and he says this time he's going to address the important subject of taxing the rich. And this business of raising taxes so unjustifiably on hedge fund managers and private equity people, and it starts by suggesting that the problem here is, from my experience in Washington lobbying senators, is democracy itself. That the problem is one man, one vote, that rich people should actually have a lot more votes than poor people. And if that happened, then the whole place would work better. And it gets more and more preposterous. And I think, now everybody will get it. Everybody will get this wasn't serious. No. He just got bigger. He's gotten bigger and bigger. And I've retired this character because I figure there's nothing I can say that will persuade people that what I was writing was satirical. So I'm just going to leave it be. And it's a little scary what's out there. Let me tell you. But anyway, I'll let it go.